that Honda today officially announced the Honda Trail 125, but it sports a 125cc fuel-injected motor, turning 17-inch wheels with ABS braking, and we cannot wait to get in the saddle. It's not only suited to dirt trails, but there's a host of features which actually make a bike like the Trail 125 suitable for everything: people who live downtown, people who live on farms, to people who live in small communities or travel across the United States.
So I driving back to Helena from Bozeman, and I decided to throw on a podcast that had to do with the TransAmerica Trail. So I saw this one, it looked good. This is the ADV Moto Live number 14. It came out on October 12th, 2020. And it's just kind of funny, they just released like, oh hey, Honda's coming out with this Trail 125. And it's like kind of cool, and they're talking about like maybe it'll be good to be cross country. And I'm listening to a podcast about the TAT just randomly, and there it is. So just kind of coincidental, but anyway, back to the podcast. And so with that, I decided to go ahead and try my hand at the TransAmerica Trail. This was a long time wish and kind of dream of mine after first watching Ed March do the TAT on his C90 with his partner at the time, Rachel. It kind of turned me onto it, and I decided in March of 2022 that it was finally time to pull the trigger and do it. So this was my rough plan. So first I started off with purchasing the maps from Sam Carrero, and you can see most of them here. I've cut out some of them. Some of the waypoints remain. You're also looking at this after I've completed my trip, so there's a little bit of some more data in here. But essentially my plan here was to start at my home here in Helena, Montana. I drive down to some family in Bozeman, Montana, where my dog would be living with my family while I was out on the trail. Here I would pick up a U-Haul, and I would travel down through Montana, through Billings, down through Wyoming. I spent one night here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and then the next morning I drove to Denver, and that's where I dropped off the U-Haul and began my trip to meet up with the TAT officially down near Salida, Colorado. So I planned this route by myself. I try to keep it kind of true to form with the TAT, trying to stay off-road. Of course, with the CT125, it's kind of a requirement. Here's where I officially met up with the TAT, rode down a little bit into Salida, and then I began my route. Most of this began on the Colorado 3 route and continued on the way through. Here you can see this is where a lot of the mountain passes are. Cinnamon, Marshall, California, etc. This is Ophir Pass. And then again, continuing down through Utah, or through the remainder of Colorado into Utah, up through the Moab area, through sort of past Arches National Park, through the Canyonlands, continuing on through Utah, more or less until I would reach just south of Salt Lake. I actually wound up planning a detour that'll show in another video, going up through Salt Lake, continuing up through mostly southern and southwestern Idaho, then finally crossing over into the final state of Oregon, where I would travel through here, through a lot of national forests, some BLM land, and eventually come out and meet up in Port Orford, Oregon. The plan was to do this solo. No particular reason for that. It's just, finding people that have the time and everything to travel this whole route is pretty difficult to do. So I left on August 10th, 15 days on the road. I was solo for 11. I was with some other buddies through the last 4 days, and then I wound up having a friend come pick me up and drive me home. A lot of stories, a lot of craziness along the way. This video is just kind of showing how I started off the trip, and then I'll start editing more videos as as time allows. So yeah, so that's my TAT journey. Alright, here we go. She's all mounted. Got all Fallon's gear, got all my bags. Everything's in it, ready to go.
that scared me.
Oh, good. Mic thing's being a little weird, but tires are cool. Okay, let's go. TransAmerica Trail 2022. Let's do it, baby.